Alright, so we're going to go over polymorphism. So we're going to go over a quick polymorphism concept and see how it works. So let's say we have a class called a home, okay? And so we'll start off. So public class a home, and there's going to be these three variables. So we're going to have a string that takes the building name. Next, we're going to have integer that's going to take the number of the building. And then we're going to have another string that takes the postal code of the building. Okay, now we're going to set up a constructor, public a home, and inside the constructor it's going to be a string building name, integer number, and then string postal code. And then we do this dot building name equals building name. Then this dot number equals number. And then this dot postal code equals hold on, equals postal code. Okay, now we're going to set up some getters. So we're going to have a method that returns the building name. So public string get name. We're just going to return the building name. Then we can do public int get number. So I'll just do get num and return the number. And then we do another string that gets the postal code. So public string postal code. And we return postal code. This is yeah, it was called okay. And we'll do another method called getInfo. So it's just pretty much gonna like get the information of everything in as like one whole string. Actually let's do a print statement. So we'll do public void getInfo, and we'll do system.out.println, and we're gonna do building name, and then we do the then we put the building name variable. Then we'll do number. I'll just put num here, and then we put number, and then we do postal code, and then we put the postal code variable. All right, so we have our at home class set up. Now we're going to do another class. So we're going to do an apartment class. Hold on, I'm going to move this down because it's like, it's a little too long. Okay, so I'll just pretty much put this like here. Okay, there we go. So this is okay. So now we're gonna do another class called apartment. So apartment is gonna extend the a home class because an apartment is technically one kind of home. So we'll do public class apartment extends a home. Okay, so inside this apartment class, we're gonna have two identical variables. We're gonna have the building name and the postal code, but we're not gonna include the number because I'm intentionally not including it so we can see how polymorphism actually works. So we'll do string building name and then we do string postal code. Now our constructor should be identical to this. So I'll just quickly copy and paste this. Okay, so the only difference is it's going to be public apartment. So public apartment. Oh yeah, and another thing is, so we have int number here, but we don't have it here. But since we extend to this class, we can include the int number without declaring it in the apartment class. But we are going to need a super uh, uh, to set up the constructor because remember constructors are not inherited, so we have to include super here. And we'll pass in the variables. So we'll pass in building name, number, and then postal code. Okay. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do something else. I'm going to overwrite the variables that we get here. So I'm going to have building name be called building 7. Okay. I'm going to have the building number to be called 7. Okay. And I'll have the postal code to be M1235X. Okay, not a real postal code, but we're just gonna do that. Okay, so pretty much why I'm doing this is, again, it's just to show you how polymorphism works. But anyways, the rest of the methods should be identical as well. So we're just gonna copy all of this. So copy this and then paste it here. Uh, there we go. Actually, I'm not gonna include the postal code one. Okay, again, just to show you how polymorphism should be working. So I'm gonna erase the postal code one, and also let's include the get info as well over here. So copy. I'm gonna try and move to get info or make it smaller. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, everything looks pretty good. So these are our two classes we have set up. I'll put like a line passing through right here, and then finally, we're gonna do our main file. So main.java, and we're gonna start calling these and see how this is gonna work. So again, public class main. So public static void main. Okay, so pretty much how I'm gonna set up my first constructor is instead of doing apartment equals new apartment, I'm gonna start up here a home, and since apartment extends to home, I could do a home home1 equals new apartment. Okay, because again apartment is one kind of home, so I can do a home, and I'll do h1 is equal to new apartment, and I'll set up some parameters. So I'll have the name be building 3, the building number is 3, and the postal code will be the following. Again, it's not a real postal code, so there we go. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. If we do h1 dot get info, okay, what do you think is going? Which one do you think is gonna be called? Do you think it's gonna be this one that's gonna be called, or this one? Because these two are gonna give out separate answers. Because so we do a home h1 equals new apartment. So in the apartment constructor, these are passed in, and then the super throws them into the a home constructor. But then back in the apartment, these are overwritten. So we have building 7, 7, and M 12 a dash 35x. But then here, these ones are going to be equaling these values. So what do you think it's going to print out? Is it going to say building? Is it going to say the values for this one or this one? Well, if you want to know the answer, it's going to be this one. Okay. So for pretty much for methods, it's going to print out what's ever in the apartment one. Okay. Or whatever's like this line. So if you try and call a method and we set up something like this, like we do a home h1 equals new apartment, the method is gonna like look into this one and see if there's a method like a get info method. If there isn't a get info method, then I will just check inside this one. So this is pretty much just gonna print out building name building 3, num 3, and then give the postal code. Now, let's do system.out.println. And let's say we do h1 dot, let's call a variable. Let's call it building name. Okay, so now we're doing h1 dot building name. So we know for the apartment class, the building name is going to be building 7. And then in the a home class, the building name is building 3. So is this going to print out building 7 or building 3? The answer is going to be building 3, okay? Because so pretty much when you try and call like a variable name, it goes towards this one, okay? So if you do system.out.println, and let's say we do h1.getName, which one is going to print out? Will it print out building 3 or will it print out building 7? So since we're doing a method, oh, hold on, I should also like show the answer here. So this one was building 3. So which one do you think it's going to print out? Will it be building 3 or building 7? It's going to be building 7 because remember this is a method that we're calling, and it's going to first go to the apartment class. And the apartment class, we have a get name, and the name is it returns building name, which is building 7. So it's going to print out building 7. Okay, let me just erase all of this. Okay, let's do another one. System.out.println h1 dot postal code. So what is this going to print out? So it's printing out it's printing out a variable. So that means we go to the a home class and recall it's going to be this value. So it's going to print out 231 M5J. Again, not a real postal code. Now let's do system.out.println, and we do h1 dot postal code, but for the method postal code. Okay, this so recall it's going to go to the apartment class, but the apartment class doesn't have a postal code method. So since it extends to a home, which does have a postal code method, it's gonna print out the postal code value that belongs to the a home class. So this one will also be 231 M5J. Hold on. Okay. Uh, okay. Now let's do the number. Okay. So the building number. So this one's going to be interesting. So we do h1 dot number. So h1 dot number. A lot of you are going to say, oh, so we just checked the a home one. The number for a home, that was just 3, right? So a lot of you are going to say, oh, so the answer should be just 3. But that's not the case. Because see here, the apartment class is missing the int number variable. So because of that, number gets overwritten by 7. Okay? So pretty much the answer for this one will actually be 7. If there was an int number here, then the answer would have been 3. But since it's missing, this dot number 7 will pretty much overrides the number variable for the a home class. Okay, so now okay, let's say this. Say I want to get we know if we do the get info method, we're gonna get the one that belongs to the apartment. But what if I want to get the one that belongs to the a home one? How can I do that? So to do it, you would have to pretty much put a static here. So you would do public static void get info, as well as include one here. And then you have to change all of these to a static as well, because these variables are inside of a static class. So the variables have to be changed to static. So change that to static. There we go. So we're so building name, number, and postal code, they're all being used inside a static method. So the variables have to be static. And then if you were to do a system.out.print line, sorry, not print line, just do h1.getInfo because there's already a print statement inside the method. So this will pretty much just print out the one that belongs to here. Okay, now we're gonna do one more thing. So let's say I want to directly change one of these variables. So let's say I want to change the building name directly after we set it up the constructor. So what I could do is, so let's say I want to change the a home one. Okay, so I want to manually change the building name. What I could do is do a home. So literally just call the class and to do dot building name. And then we can do equals building 223. Okay, now if we do system.out.print line and we do h1.building name, it's instead of printing out building 3 like it would have normally done, since we overrid it, it's gonna print out building 223. Okay, but the variable has to be static if you want to directly change it